Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are very happy to have a special guest with us. Sam, would you like to introduce
Ron Paxton?
our
He's
gentleman?
the head girls track coach, and although it's kind of a co-ed thing, but welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you back this week as well.
Well, I appreciate it. I had away for a while. Didn't accomplish much, but I got a few things finished.
There you go.
Another day we'll take care of, hopefully.
In broadcasting, we just have to maintain a rigid state of flexibility because we didn't know that you weren't going to be here.
Well, I informed our boss, but our boss said
Didn't get
that
the message.
where I left the message, it didn't work. So I'll try to buy an airplane and put something up in the air that he can see.
Send up some smoke signals.
That'd be a good idea, don't
Well,
you
we're
think?
glad to have you back.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Sam. Right. Ron, you're a busy guy.
Yeah. busy.
This time of the year is any guy infected in sports is very busy.
Yes.
High school sports, spring schedule, postponements because of the weather.
Oh, yeah.
So that means the athletic director will be busy rescheduling.
Absolutely. Even today.
Yes.
Today we had a lot of
Yes.
cancellations.
But the weathermen and the weather ladies say the weather will be better on coming in a few days.
I hope so.
Okay, right. What keeps you busy, Ron?
Oh, shoot. Well, I coach track, as you guys know, and then football in the summer and fall.
Okay.
And then I have 3 kids of my own.
Okay.
I have a middle school daughter who plays sports. I have a 6th grade son who's in all kinds of activities, baseball currently, and then I have a 7-month-old. So, we're moving and shaking a lot.
And you're on the faculty at CHS.
Yes, sir. Yep, this is my 9th year teaching.
And your subject?
I do special education, and then I co-teach in math mostly.
Okay, very good, very good, very good. Kerry Brown, is he a math teacher? Or he's a history teacher, I believe.
Coach Brown does Lifetime Sports and our weightlifting program now.
Okay.
He changed.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite sport?
I would say football. Football's my favorite. There's nothing like going out there on a Friday and winning a football game. There's just something about that energy, that community. Coach Lynch brought a lot of that life back into it this past season, and it was so much fun to be a part of.
Enjoyable season, wasn't it?
A great season.
And we're looking for the coming season.
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Got to build on that, but I think these guys are moving on, set a good foundation for
Yeah, that's
for what's
exactly what I
coming.
would say. Great foundation for those guys. You couldn't ask for a better set of seniors to start something with than those guys that are graduating this year.
Should impart a lot of confidence in what's coming, that to show those young guys that they can do it.
Absolutely, and what it takes to do it. You know, the hard work, the weight room in the summer. Those guys were great about doing that and being on time, showing up, working hard. I mean, those guys had a great mold of what it takes to win. So they should be, moving forward. They know exactly what they need to do.
Community support was fantastic last year, I thought. That everywhere we went, we took a nice crowd with us. Always a lot of fun. Fun to go on the road, but it's always fun at Spartan Field, too.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a great community. I mean, when you're up, when you're down, they're always there to support you no matter what. And that's the one thing I love about living here, is that anytime they just, they want Connorsville to be good. And when they are good, it's a blast.
What was home for you before?
Bluffton. I'm from 2 hours north of here.
Nice community up there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Just up the road, up State Road 1. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In fact, I think the sign south of Bluffton says Connorsville 95.
Yep.
95 miles.
There's a 95 and then there's a 71. I always laugh when I see both of them.
Yeah.
Did you play football in high school and college?
No, not in college, but I did play in high school.
Okay.
Played all basketball, football, ran track.
How did your teams do when you were a member of them?
Football, we didn't do so great, but we had a lot of coaching changeover, and that happens. Basketball, we were pretty solid. Lost 4 games in 2 years.
And that's Norwell High School, am I wrong?
No, Bluffton High School.
Bluffton High School, okay. Why did I think that?
That's our big rival, actually.
That's the big rival.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was up there, near there somewhere.
Yeah, no, there's...
Okay.
I'm not sure folks know that sports is not just during the season, but almost year-round for these kids that take part
Oh my gosh,
because
yes.
of the training and so on, weight room and practice and everything.
I mean, our track kids have been in the weight room since December, getting ready for the season. Some of them all through even, pretty much after football season, they got in the weight room and started getting after it. Carter DeBoard's one. He's been
Yes.
lifting since football ended to get ready for track season. It's paying dividends, breaking that 4x1 record.
Sure, these kids are doing well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of kids that are just really working hard right now. It's awesome.
What are you expecting from in the spring football season coming up? They'll be training a little bit, will they?
They're already working now. With track season, I kind of have to take a step back from the football weights. But, Coach Lynch is in there every day with a lot of the other coaches. We're having a great turnout. It's been very encouraging of what's to come.
Great.
Yeah.
What about the track team? We're right around the corner. Well, they're all already underway, aren't they?
So, yeah, we've been, this is probably our 4th week.
Okay.
And we've been to some big tournaments. We're competing everywhere we go. We're in that upper 3 anywhere. I mean, we're doing really well.
Some of them have been indoor, though, haven't they?
Yeah, we had 3 indoor meets.
Okay.
East Central, and then 2 at Anderson College. And then we did well there. We sent 2 to indoor state, Anaya Bennett and Parker Sweet. Anaya finished 5th in the 60, and Parker Sweet finished 7th in the hurdles. And we look to see them, progress hopefully to the state in the outdoor too.
So we should have a pretty good season coming up.
Yes,
as far
sir.
as tracks is
Oh,
concerned.
absolutely.
Yeah. Who helps you coach in track?
We have a great staff. Jeff Cooley, he does our sprints. Jacob Kirchhoff, he's a young guy at the high school. He's awesome. He does all of our distance training.
Okay.
Macaulay Vessels and Dennis Perkins handle the throws. And then Tim O'Rourke does the hurdles and high jump.
A lot of veteran help there that's been around a while.
A lot of
Good
experience.
guys.
A lot of experience. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of great guys
Sure.
getting together and coaching. It's been fun.
You coach the girls. Talk about the girls a little bit and who you have.
Our girls team is tough this year. We have, like I said, Anaya Bennett earlier. She is absolute lightning. There's not honestly, in my heart of hearts, I think if she decided she wanted to run the 400, she'd be one of the best 400 runners in our area, if not the state.
Wow.
We watched her play basketball, and she gets from one end of the floor.
Oh,
I mean, she blows by everybody.
you should come down and watch her run 100. It's crazy. And we got a lot of veterans. We only graduated one girl last year, Brooke Sudoff, and she's pole vaulting at IU East, but everyone came back, and we won the sectional last year. So our hurdle team is great. We have Lexi Barr, Olivia Becker. They're both tough. Rakaya Dixon, she runs the 800. She's tough. Caitlin Seeley is our 400 4x4 girl. She is absolute lightning in those events. I mean, our collective team is just good all around. It's been a lot of fun to take them to meets and see what they
Sure.
can do. And we do our schedule's like a Tuesday, we go more of a conference or, like a 3-way meet. And then on Fridays or Saturdays, we go to some big competition.
Good.
So like this Saturday, we go to Eaton over in Ohio, and there will be some big Ohio teams there. So we're excited to see where we stand, and when you get to those big meets with some really big schools there too.
Absolutely.
Probably kind of fun to get away and see some different schools.
Yeah, it's great not just seeing the same 6-7 schools all the time. I mean, a couple years ago, we watched a kid go 17 feet in pole vault. I mean, he went to Ohio State. There's some real, big time Ohio schools that go there, so it's fun to watch.
And close by, just over to Eaton.
Yeah, it's
closer than some of our conference schools.
Absolutely, it's a nice, kind of like you said, it's a nice getaway, but at the same time, you're not driving 2-3 hours to go do it. It's a perfect situation for us.
Yeah, great.
Well, it's great to have kind of a program that you can go to and the kids get more experience, all the better.
Absolutely, and they know, going into it, they're like, well, hey, this is, we want to see where we're at. We tell them this is kind of a canary in the coal mine, so to speak, of where we are, what we're trying to do. And if we want to go compete in the regional, in our regional, you have Warren Central and schools, those indie schools up there, you're going to have to go see where we're at. And this is a nice time of the year to see where we are training wise and what we need to get to compete in that regional.
Yeah, you go and compete with the big schools because it's single class in track.
Yes. Yeah, there is no, time is the only thing that matters in track. There is no big school, small school.
What about the boys part of the team?
Oh, man, our boys team, again, Carter DeBoard has been an excellent model leader as far as, anything you would, if you had to write down on paper what you want a leader to be, Carter DeBoard's that guy for our track team. He does everything we need him to. Parker Sweet's another one. He runs the 110s and the 300 hurdles, and he's one that works hard constantly. Micah Buchanan, he runs the 100 and the 200 for us and the 4x1. He was on that record-breaking team with DeBoard. He's a stud. And I could go on and on. We have Blaine Hornsby. He was also on that 4x1 team. He does the hurdles, the 4x1, and high jumps. And then, our distance crew. We have Owen Baker is an absolute monster. He really goes for it, and he wants to compete. He's one of those guys that he throws the watch out, and if first place is up there, I'm going to go get first place. I love watching him run. Jaden Peterson's another one. He's come on really strong these last couple meets, running in that 53 range for the 4x4. So it's been.
I've watched Owen swim this season, and,
Oh, yeah.
and similar in that both the sports are about time, and quite a competitor he was in swimming.
Oh yeah, and especially, I would encourage anybody. And I know that it's not exactly a sport that people get geared up to go watch a track meet, but we have a home meet tomorrow. It's supposed to be nice out. I would encourage everybody to come watch. These kids they're a fantastic group of just kids to be around, and then on top of that, we go out and we get after it. And like I said, you're going to have fun watching the beginning of the meet all the way to the end with the 4x4. Every event is fun to watch this year.
Will Connersville be hosting a sectional this year?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll be hosting the boys and girls sectional. I forget the exact dates, but it's the week right before the last week of school.
Okay.
And they're on Tuesday is the girls and Thursday is the boys.
And who are the teams that will be coming?
So it's...
Put you on the spot here.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's us, Seton Catholic, I believe Cambridge City, Union County, Richmond. I want to say that's about all. There's two more I'm missing somewhere, and I apologize to those teams. But yeah, we'll host it. It'll be a good good meet.
It takes a lot of people to put on a meet like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, we have really good, support in that regard. We'll have a lot of past athletes that'll come back and help, or we'll have our middle school staff's great about coming and helping us too, and they'll clerk and run whatever needs ran.
Do we have a program in the middle grades, a track team?
Yes, sir. Our middle school team, they'll run a full schedule, and then they put on a big invite every year also that a bunch of teams go to. And Lindsey Brooks, Morgan Hamilton, and Bobby, they do a great job running that middle school program.
Is that the main location where you can find members of the team when they reach high school? Is that the only feeding program we have?
No, so our middle school program does a great job, and then Kelly House does a youth running program.
Oh, okay.
And she does an excellent job with that, and she's great any way, shape, or form. I love Kelly, and she does a good job with that running program, which we're hoping really pushes kids into that cross country track, I guess you could say.
How young should a youngster be when they start in the track program?
I believe Kelly's program is elementary on, I think.
Oh, so
yeah.
youngsters.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
she does a really good job with them. And it goes by, I believe, schools still, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a lot of fun. My granddaughter participated in that when she was younger, and I think she might have last year too. But when she was first grade age, and it's just fun, and some of the coaches would run alongside of them
Oh,
and
yeah.
encourage them, and
It's a great positive
Yeah.
experience for those kids.
it is, and it's something. Track's something that you got to have some skills, but anybody though can come and be a part of it, can't they? I mean,
Absolutely. I think a lot of track, there's so many different events. I would tell any kid, if they were trying to get into sports, but maybe they didn't have, they didn't feel like they had the best hand-eye coordination, or come run track. We have so many different things, different events. We'll find something for you to do. And we try and keep it very positive. We try and keep it very upbeat. So if a kid, well, you're not the fastest, that's fine. You're not that's okay. We will find something for you to do. And we just want people to come out.
and you don't have to buy a lot of equipment. It's inexpensive for mom and dad.
Exactly. Pretty much a pair of shoes. We'll take care of the rest.
Great.
What's the toughest thing in track, in your opinion?
Toughest event?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. I would say the toughest field event would be pole vault, just because of how technical it is and how many
Okay.
different things you have to do. And as far as running event, like on the track, I would say the 800.
Okay.
I think the 800 is, now the 400's the longest sprint, but man, that 800, those guys are moving, and you gotta, there is not really any time to do anything else. You gotta run the whole time. There is no reprieve. There's not really a strategy to it. You just gotta go.
In that pole vaulting, how high do you go? And is that pole ever going to break?
Now, knock on wood, I've only ever seen one break, and it was just because the girl picked up the wrong, so they go by weight.
Okay.
She picked up the wrong weight, and
Okay.
it was like she was 150 pounds, and she picked up one that was 120 pounds and broke it.
Snapped off.
But no, we've never had one break for our team, so that's good.
What's the height usually? What's the average height that you have to reach on that?
We'll see a lot of 12'6", 13 feet
Okay.
for boys, and probably around that 10-foot mark, 9'6", 10 feet for girls is about the average you'll see.
Okay.
We have a couple kids right now. Lincoln Flum, he's in that 12'6" category right now. He's trying to break into the 13s.
Yeah.
JR Pfeiffer, he's in the more of a 10 category right now, but we're hoping he makes a big jump soon, and I think he will. And then Gwen Higby, she's our returning girl. She was hurt last year, so she's been doing great and making progress. I think she'll be up in that 8'6", and the best news is they're all sophomores. So I mean, normally you start seeing these kind of numbers in that junior year thing, but so they're a year ahead of development.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a coach, you watch these kids very closely and have advice for them as to how better to get height and everything?
Absolutely. It's one of those things where we do a lot of filming on either a phone or an iPad,
Oh,
and so we
okay.
can slow it down and show them what to do. But a lot of it's it's a lot like golf, honestly, pole vault is, where you have to, move your hand from here to here, or move your elbow just a smidge this way. And that's, it's just a lot of minute detail that goes into it, then you have to put it all together. You got to be the right amount of crazy and technical to do it.
A lot of thinking.
Yeah. And then, asking you to, essentially run and get upside down in the air and flip yourself over. It's a wild event.
Yeah, it
to
looks.
coach.
It looks like it'd be really difficult.
It is, and I always, appreciate when kids want to not only come out and do it, but, work at it, because I could see where it would be extremely scary to, what I'm asking them to do, and they do it and they love it. And it's it's a fun time.
In inclement weather, you guys move indoors. Is that the field house advantage of having a field house?
Oh, absolutely. I was very thankful when they put the long jump pit and the pole vault box in there for us, because we can now. I think we get an advantage, especially in the off season where we can start in January,
Yes.
So most schools I know don't have those types of facilities. So we can start earlier. We can get our kids, you know, in more mid-season form earlier than some other programs, and it's been a great advantage. We were very thankful that they put those things in for us.
When tournament time comes, who's going to be the biggest opponent for the Spartans?
We think points-wise, it's probably going to be, really, it's our sectional. It could be Richmond, Hagerstown always is tough.
Okay.
Seton won it a couple years ago with like 7 people. It's really, it just comes down to we need to take care of what we can take care of and let the rest go.
Sure.
Yeah, that's really how we're looking at it. Is you can't really worry about everybody else. You got to take care of your own business, I guess.
Okay. Where will the regional be, Ron?
Boys, I believe, is Franklin Community, and then
Okay.
girls is at Shelbyville. I may have those flipped, but those are
Sure.
the two: is Shelbyville
Okay.
and Franklin Community.
Okay.
Is that different, not having the co-ed? Because I'm sure they help cheer each other on, and if they're split up like that, they're used to being co-ed
The hardest
during the season, I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, the hardest part's honestly the time of it. So when the sectional gets here, it's hard because you, there's not 2 races, you know what I mean? So what normally takes, maybe 20, 25 minutes now takes 10. So if you have a kid who is expecting to your warm-up time gets pushed up, your recovery time gets pushed up. So it is a challenge when you get to that sectional that there's not I wish we did it that way. I wish we could do it on a Saturday, run boys and girls together, and that way
Sure.
everyone would get that recovery time, because you see it a lot more with our freshmen who've never been through it before. There always seems to be a kind of a slight learning curve as far as
Sure.
how to do that.
What about, we talked about sectional, what about conference? Who's tough in the conference, and who do you think is tough in the conference? Are we right up there at the top?
I would say absolutely. We're right up there in the top. I would say top 3 for the boys and the girls, points wise. But like I said earlier, you got to show up and run.
Right.
We always joke around that if the meet was dependent on what was on paper, we wouldn't need to be there. We could just send the ribbons home and
could be
stay
that
home.
way with any sport, I guess.
Exactly. So there's so many things that can happen. A couple years ago, we won the sectional and we weren't supposed to, just because we had some girls really go above where they should have been, and it just sometimes works that way in your favor. So we're really hoping, looking at the point spread right now, that we should be in the hunt for both boys and girls to win the conference, which would be a really big deal. I mean, I would really like to do that.
I know that East Central seems to be pretty good about everything, and Greensburg and Batesville's always tough. So,
Lawrenceburg.
and Lawrenceburg and others. It's a tough conference in all
Franklin
sports.
County. Yeah, it really is. I mean, we have a very good athletic conference as a whole. So it's, I always tell my pole vault kids, we're working for the sectional and the conference. Every other meet we go to is just how can we build and learn for those 2 big meets at the end, because that's really what you want to peak at the right time. So that's what we've been trying to do all season.
Who have you had matches with so far?
Oh man, we've been to a couple invites with. We went to Ball State. That was really cool. The kids seemed to like that. We went to Franklin Community. For their big invite. Tomorrow we have Greensburg and Newcastle, and then next Friday we'll go to Newcastle again for an invite. We'll pretty much see most of the conference before the conference. Okay. I think East Central is the only one we don't see, but we race against them in an indoor meet.
So it's a conference meet then. It's not individual meets to.
No, our 3-way will be. Sometimes it's 2 conference teams.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a conference team and a close by team. So Greensburg, Newcastle, or something like that. But it's just mainly who has spots in their schedule and where we can fit everybody in. But we try to see everybody at least once if we can.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Is there a semi-state in the final tournaments? I know in some of the sports it runs from regional to finals. There's no semi-state.
No, in track it's sectional, regional, state.
Okay, so no semi-state in that
No
one either.
state.
Is there a reason for that? Do you know?
Honestly, I don't know. Probably just because by the time you get to the regional, they really boil it down to, kind of here's your best group.
Okay.
I don't think they need to have a semi-state, honestly, because I think you could. I mean, pretty much if you're coming out of Indy or Fort Wayne, like I said,
Yes.
fast is fast. You're not gonna.
Right.
No one's gonna jump out when you get to that level.
Okay.
I'll do, you win the sectional, but individuals can go on to the regional, right?
Yes, sir.
It doesn't have to be the whole team.
No, so yeah, we hope to not only win the sectional, but send as many kids as we can. And that's just getting in that top 3 spot and moving on. So that's always kind of the goal, is getting as many kids to that regional as possible. And then, winning a team regional would be huge. That would be a lot of fun. But that's just, you got to send enough kids to go and then get the points once you get there. So it's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah. Winning a sectional is a big deal.
Absolutely. We've I think our girls are going for 4 in a row. I believe our boys are going for 3 in a row this year. So
That's great.
That's great. Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun run.
Have the kids, any kids that you've coached gone on to do well in college?
Yes, sir. My 2 seniors last year, Braden Jones is at Wilmington College. He plays football and pole vaults, and I coached him in both sports, and that was
very good.
That was great. And then Brooke Sudoff, she pole vaults at IU East, and they've both been doing well. They text me and keep me informed. I love getting texts from them. I love getting texts from anyone I've coached in the past and see what's going on with them.
Do coaches in the college level look at these kids, and I suppose academics is number one when they start reviewing their records?
Yeah, a few coaches have come up to us. Normally the first 2 questions they ask are, how are they in the classroom and what's their work ethic like? They rarely ask about times first. They rarely ask about heights or anything. It's normally those 2 questions first, and then they get into the rest of it. So yeah, you nailed it. It's all really like, are they going to be, that student then an athlete first?
Yes,
because if you're not eligible, there's really no point in.
That's what I thought, right. So it's important that you brief these kids before they go into an interview with a college coach some way, and do you help them prepare for that?
If they ask me to, normally I don't. If they say, "Hey, I got this, college wanting to talk to me. What do you think?" I'll give them, my opinion of, okay, you mention these things or do these things, and it's just from talking to different colleges. Like if they want you there for example, Evan Schaefer a couple years ago. I helped Coach Kelly with the recruiting on that, and it was they wanted him to play football, obviously, but they really perked up when we mentioned track. So being a 3-sport athlete or a 2-sport athlete, that always helps with the recruiting process, and they always like to know what other sports you do and how those apply. So we always tell them to mention that.
It's a spring sport, and what about kids in fall and winter? What kind of athlete there does well in track?
Oh, any. We have, swimmers, wrestlers, basketball players. We take everybody.
Okay.
Like I said, there's so many different events, and we can plug a lot of kids in.
Okay.
And so yeah, really at this point we don't care what sport you want to.
Okay.
We'll take everybody, and we'll find something for you to do.
Being a 2 or 3 sport athlete teaches discipline too, because they got to get their schoolwork done.
Absolutely.
And just being ready and being on time.
Oh yeah, and it's and again, we've been really lucky. This senior class has shown a lot of our younger kids, what to do and how to do it. As far as you can be a 3-sport athlete, get good grades, be a great kid. If I try and bring my kids around, my track kids, my football, as much as possible, because I try and tell them these are the role models. These are this senior class is going to be greatly missed as far as that regard. being
Absolutely.
great athletes, great students.
Ron, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you
and
guys. I appreciate it.
It's great to hear from you, and the best of luck to the track team.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for watching tonight's Spartan Sports Report. Good night.